Hi, welcome to the session for the city of Vienna, demonstrating the power of Wien KI, which is in English Vienna AI, Vienna and Artificial Intelligence, with keeping the city's AI sovereignty. With me, there is Dominic. Welcome, Dominic.
Thank you very much. Hello. My name is Dominic Zmuda. I am a cloud AI developer here at the city of Vienna and working on the Vienna AI. So I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, that's great. My name is David Hanacek. I'm an associate principal solution architect at Red Hat, covering the city of Vienna for the past 6 years. And I'm really proud to have Dominic here telling us a little bit about the what, why, and how of the Wien KI. What happened? Why do we have that here in public administration embracing artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so all started 2 years ago when we saw the entire AI boom go crazy with the new GPT models, especially, and seeing a lot of more people that are working in the government and using those models and those features. And the first reaction was we were a bit scared because what is happening there? What are we uploading? Where is everything going? Is it safe? Is it actually improving the work? Is it actually doing what it's supposed to do? And then we had the initiative that I think instead of being scrutinizing it or being very against it, we decided to make our own approach to it and enable people to actually use it, to properly being transparent. Interoperability is very important for us as well, and being able to make the work actually easier for us here working in the government and the public sector and making those workflows actually work in a way that's safe for the data, for us, and for the government.
Do you have any numbers? How many chats? How many users?
So I think as of last month, we have about 100,000 chats. We have I think over 1,000 active users. I think we have a lifetime of over 2,000 users, and overall have a lot of tokens used. I don't know how many millions it is, but a lot of millions of tokens being used. And I think thousands and hundreds of knowledge databases as well, yes.
Okay, impressive. So this is part of why you have won several prizes. One of them being the Red Hat Innovation Award this year, where you have been nominated amongst more than 100 nominations worldwide, and where the city of Vienna was one of the four as prize winners of the Red Hat Innovation Award in 2025 in Boston at the Red Hat Summit. And I hope we will see you again on stage at some point. I saw that just in November 2025, the city of Vienna was at the government conference, the CEMIC 2025, where it was again awarded with a prize for being a tech tool that with the necessary things in the European Union, making sure that sovereignty is kept and driving that forward. So congratulations once more, and looking forward to see more. So let's see more, because sure. I'm sure people are interested what you are doing with your Wien KI, with your Vienna AI.
Thank you. So we'll get right into it. We go into the demonstration a bit. We'll start with the portal, so with the web front and actually what is happening there. The functions themselves, so email templates, as well as coding, for instance. And then we have the knowledge bases with RAG and a mixture of anonymization. And then we do a quick overview of the technology stack and Microsoft Azure, Red Hat, OpenShift. So with this, we are here at the Vienna AI. And this is the first view you get after logging into it and doing a very important thing that we'll get into in a minute. You'll be able to first swap the language for this to English. And then we'll be able to already see and also decide what we want to do. So in this case, we will probably go with ChatGPT, but we could also select a different provider as well as a different on-prem or cloud model running. And in this case, we will be using ChatGPT for this session. And we can also use different models themselves, and that's already one of the things that we wanted to improve. So we had the scares of, okay, good. So we have people using it, but they're not using it only one provider, but a lot of providers, and the data is being scratched along the entire world. And this is one way to making sure it works. Instead of being one model, we have a lot of providers and multiple models as well. After that, we go to the check functions. And here we have a variety of things. So starting with the Python interpreter, the image grammar, and overall grammar correction. We have set it up in a way that we are proving and mixing the prompts with the best models that are working with it. So you can see here currently we are in English, but for instance, this here is a description in German and also the email setup in German, as well as the correction also in German setup. But before we use a function, we can actually decide if we want to use it instantly or while we're in a chat. So while we're at it, we'll say, create me a Python script for saying hello world. So we created just a new chat and we'll be creating the prompt. And there you have multiple different ways of we can decide what we want to actually use. But the important, very interesting part is not even that we can copy this content, but we can actually take a view of what is the option we can do with this response. First, we can read the message aloud so we know what's actually happening. We can copy the entire content. We can rate it, but also we can see the show message context. This is very important, and we want to be as transparent as possible with showing the system prompts and the predefined prompts as well. So here you can see the context for the English model. We have also the predefined prompts for the German setup. And we can show more or decide what we want to do here. What I'm very interested in, though, is we'll copy this, and while we're at it, we will paste it in here, and we can use the browse function or just select the function. We see Python is already selected here, and we can maybe look if we want to use something else. Do we want to attach a file? We could, but we won't. We can also look at the chat mood right now. So is it strict, balanced, creative? It's a model temperature for those that know, as well as the voice input language that we can use in a context with the microphone right here to actually speak and prompt in that way. So here we have a lot of models and different languages we support. As well as, very important, while debugging, as well as here the content and as well as the tokens remaining in this chat and overall for my account. So we'll try the Python interpreter function and send it. While we do and wait, we could also theoretically stop generating, and we see that it just responded hello world. And it's very weird, no? But it's actually what we exactly wanted. If we go to the context, we said to the function that we've selected that it would be a Python-free interpreter. That it means that we can check theoretically our code, and if it, in theory, it would actually do what we want. So, all right, we have the Python script here, but now we will probably want to do something with it. Maybe we overslept and we want to write our manager that we still made it clear and we tested it. So instead of creating a new tab or whatever, we just click on split window and we'll select the GPT for mini model, as well as selecting the grammar function in German now. So we write to Gerald in German, and that I overslept. Then we tested the code. And then we can just paste the code as well. And what I just saw, thank you, I've overslept Gerald. So we can see we have a chat here. It's very quick, we have to think fast. So we can see we just selected it, and here's the grammar version. Hello, Gerald, I overslept. Here's my code that I tested it. It will not happen again. Best regards, and then my name. So in this version, we did a quick setup. So the mail is done. We wrote it very cryptically, and the model was still able to process it.
Very proper, formulated apology.
So we were very, very stressed, and we can see what actually happened is that we actually are here the predefined prompt for this message in this case. Yes, so those are the functions, and those are the things that are actually helping us in a day-to-day situation. I will not say that I haven't used the email and grammar check for something of a similar situation, but it does what it really, really just helps us. All right, the next step would be the knowledge bases themselves. So the knowledge bases, as I said before, are based on RAG. And what we are using here today is the M1-Regelungen. That means that this is the summary and all of the 300 documents that are currently in the scope for regulations and overall governmental things, as well as just day-to-day things. One of those being, let's say I just started last week, and we actually have a real story that works like this, but I just started last week, and I would like to know how homework works. So I'll just prompt that. I started last week at M1. How does the home office work here? Like I said, I just started here. We select all of the 300 documents here in the context. And once again, we'll create a new chat with it. And what will happen now is that with this given prompt, we'll try to find the best hit document or even documents. And the model will now try to answer me here with, in this case, the Telearbeit and also the Arbeitszeitregelungen. So we have two documents that are also cited and also here in the context as well. We could theoretically check the sources as well and also download it. And we can also check once again the message context. In this case, it's way bigger and there's way more of it. But we see everything that's happening in every part of the way to making the response. All right, so we just started, we just got our policy information, and now this is a blueprint, and maybe we can use this to go to our manager and maybe say, hey, I just found out this, and this is the chat, and we can also share it with him. The next thing would be the use functions here. That is just a collection of the functions that are currently stored. We could browse them and use them. And also the generation of images. The important thing, the change here is that we can select here one of the 3 image generation models, as well as seeing here the amount of images we have currently still remaining for this month. The next thing would be a chat collection. So here we can just create folders and also have them set up together. Now, one of the very important things that we have is the help and information. And that's actually where the journey with the Vinci starts for you as a user. So once you go to the page, you'll be prompted with doing e-learning and also reading through the documentation and reading the document on how it actually works and how actually generative AI is impacting and actually working in a day-to-day life. So one of the things we have, for instance, is the kit. So it's the KI or AI tips and tricks. It's a group or even just an event or more of a session that we do with a lot of partners, a lot of people using it in a day-to-day life and getting inspiration from. I think, David, you have also a bit of you attended?
I didn't attend, but for example, during the digital days, you're kind of bot father of the city of Vienna. He's propagating that format very much, and it's part of like the responsibility as well, and the power you give your employees. So it's as well the questions we got during the workshops we did together recently, right? Where you were kind of like asked, so where's the data stored? How is it used? Who is using it? Who has access? And you just were showing, and we will be stepping on one further topic about how you make sure that documents you want to share with a broader audience, be it just internally, that you make sure that you are not leaking any personal data or any sensitive data. So this is part of like the questions you're getting from the citizens, from people who might be using it in the various departments, be it the kindergarten, be it the schools, be it some other functions in the city that keep the city clean, right, with the garbage collection. Any department can use it, and therefore it's so important to enable the users and the employees. And currently it's a more closed access, so it's only for the employees of the city of Vienna. but obviously one of the things is it might be helping to support, but in the end of the day, it's the human in the loop, as it's mentioned. So nothing should go out without review by the person who is using that as an assistant, as a tool, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is exactly what you said. So this is the context and the feedback we're working on. So as you said, a lot of the people actually working on it in a day-to-day life are giving us, for instance, feedback on the prompts that we have, the functions that we had, and those are implemented also in a way by them because they told us how to do it and they know best how their day-to-day life looks. And in this way, we can enable them to work on it. And this is a perfect use case for it. Yes. So like I said, the information and overall the help that you get here is to get started and actually knowing what's happening.
And it's mandatory to go through those e-learnings.
Right. Yeah, right. So we have mandatory e-learnings as well as additional information. So if you want to get even more information, we have e-learnings as well as just pages and blogs about it.
And this community with these workshops. So I think it's very important not only to throw a tool at the users, but as well give them a hand and show them how to use it properly.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the next thing that I will get through is just a quick overview of the gallery. So we have here just the overview of all of the pictures we did at the digital days, as David mentioned we had a few weeks ago. And also the next thing that's very interesting is the managing of the knowledge bases themselves. So here we can see the groups and knowledge bases I'm inside of, so or a part of. For instance, here GALT4 is a team I'm in, and we're working together in a few projects together. Who would have believed that? And doing that is managed in a way that once the document is updated or we have something new, let's say that we have Power Platform insights or information that's very keen or very interesting, we can share it together and put it together into the database or a knowledge base, and then use it with the Vienna AI to actually get better responses with information we got by actually working or by someone collecting them in our team. So one of the things I also like to show off is like the 300 documents you have here. So we can view them and actually we could preview all of the documents, we could download the documents. And this is also the way that we can maybe like display and show how many information there is. Like you can see there's a lot of knowledge bases. The main one, like, if I can say the ML1 Regelungen that we have for us is huge and a lot of documents are getting updated as well. One of the things we'll do now is adding a collection or adding a knowledge base ourselves. For this, we just quickly swap to the to a fresh start. We just created an Dominic, but we create a knowledge base ourselves to show how easy it is. So we create a no red, and we'll save it. And just like that, we have our own knowledge base that we can now supply with data. And the important part is now here is this anonymized documents. So you can click on it, and currently we have no data in it, but that's why we created the one beforehand so we can show it off. So if we go here to my prepared one, we just uploaded the files, and the only thing we did was anonymous documents, and then we selected those to actually anonymize. So we can try and look at it, what it did. So we'll preview it, and as you can see, the documents themselves is still intact, but it is redacted and completely removed some of the important things that are inside of the document. So any information I uploaded in the document, even if it's not that worthy of protecting because it's a document that's maybe generally available, maybe I still need to clear something, or maybe I have a comment that I want still to be cleared. And that's the thing that we have here. So we still can sanitize and redact information and make sure that the data that is being uploaded to the knowledge base is actually clean beforehand.
Okay. So, but what is with the original document? Are you processing that in the public cloud?
Well, no. So the original documents are being handled on premise. So we have a server running here that is doing the following thing. Once you're here and you anonymize the document, it gets loaded to the on-prem server. What it does is a copy of the original document, and while it's on the copy of the original document, it's already anonymizing the data inside of it. The original document then gets deleted, and with that, you don't have a document leaking outside of the on-premise setup, and you just get the result of the server back.
That comes back to the feedback from the workshops and the discussions and conversations we have with people who are not who are asking correctly those questions, right? Last but not least, I think we might have mentioned it, is even once a document is uploaded in the public cloud, it's still encrypted from your end before it lands there, right?
Yeah, sure. So we have, I think to say it a lot, but we have 4 encryption steps we use. So even if it's a document that we encrypted, and even if it's a document that we anonymize, the encryption part is one of the most important. We're still in the public sector here and still in the government sector. We still have to make sure and ensure that the data is being processed in a way that is safe. And that's actually just another step to it. So it's just enhancing it.
But coming back, there is still a responsibility, and I'm reminding everybody, less is better in these days, and we're sharing way too many information sometimes, and at the same time, this is exactly what you're guiding your users to make sure they do what is necessary and to make their job easier and more reliable, and as well helping the citizens, but as well being aware of not putting just anything everywhere. Right?
Yeah. So brought it right to the point. That's actually the most important thing. So that's also the e-learnings that you said and the setup here. So you still have to be responsible for this.
Yeah.
Right. One last thing for the databases and the knowledge bases themselves would be this little link here. That's the smart info. So I created the knowledge base, but I would like David to access it. So let's say that David should be able to access the data. It would be very nice. So I sanitized it beforehand, and now I can create a smart info link, and I could just share him this link, create it, and automatically you'll be able to use this knowledge base now also in your chats. And also, depending on the authentication level, on the roles I gave you, you'll be able to also edit it and also update it yourself. But obviously, you'll never be able to get the original document from the anonymization back, I think.
And that's an important thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. With this, we're back to the architecture part. Just an overview. So this is a mixture of the on-prem and actually the cloud setup. This is the way we'll also deploy the local environment. This is now for the Microsoft Azure Red Hat OpenShift setup. So you can see that we have the VNK Red Hat containers running in a mixture of using them with Hugging Face. So the Hugging Face models gets loaded or copied from the instance gets copied to the container. And inside of it is a setup with multiple, mostly NVIDIA GPUs and load balancer before it or in front of it. And the model proxy actually orchestrating everything beforehand. So inside of it, for instance, in the architecture for the Microsoft Azure, we are using those we're using those to test the model properties. So the temperature, as you saw before, have you seen before, if it's strict or creative, as well as the prompt performance checks. So is the prompt actually performing the way it should? So we have a lot of them, like the knowledge database, also the functions themselves, a lot of them are getting checked beforehand on the exact model, so we can ensure that it's actually running the way we intended. Then the next part of it is the roadmap for the VNKE, for the VNKE. So we have a lot of things beforehand. 2.1 is going to have the new cross-knowledge databases with smart, automatic, and cross-smart info. That means that we'll be synchronizing and also updating it in a way that we have the knowledge bases with, for instance, OneDrive. So if someone makes a change on OneDrive, it'll also be reflected in the knowledge base so that I can use them. Also, the new interfaces, for instance, for using LLMs as a service or models as a service. Also, the LLM comparison and the new models will be a ginormous feature to implement, and it will be released so we can compare, the user can compare which model they prefer and also which new models will be performing the best with it. And a lot more. So OpenShift AI, for instance, the agents agents are a huge and enormous topic, and this would be a perfect setup with using them and checking the llamas, like for instance with with MCP, as well as a setup for the new custom configurations with it.
Or model as a service. And it's a pleasure that you have been participating and hosting the Austrian OpenShift AI Roundtable recently, where you exchanged, and a lot of people are really interested, and you showed as well what you did already, and you're getting a lot of recognition for that, because it's exactly where everybody wants to go. Not prohibiting things, being aware, taking care of what you're doing with the tools and the technology we have. But at the same time, not like letting the users go to use shadow IT again, right?
Yeah, right. So, like I said, and all of this is user feedback. Don't forget. So all of this is with the work from the users, as well as with a lot of foreign back and fronts with you from Red Hat. But
Thank you very much.
More to that.
Exactly. And this is where we come to that story. It's not working without our customers like you, and showing what's working, as well as partners. So we got asked a lot of times, like, do you provide a vector DB? No, we don't, but we have partners who do, be it Redis, be it CouchDB, and others who can offer additional components in this fast developing space, right? And it doesn't work without, but the open source approach Red Hat is doing for more than 30 years is helping us in that space particularly. So in the context of the smart city and the public administration, there are a lot of things that you need to observe. We touched on the modularity to end-to-end security, making sure that it runs on any platform, that you can use some functions on-prem, others in the public cloud, because you have the resources there, or you might not have them on-prem at that point, to make sure that you safeguard your data, that you have analytics available, like the numbers you shared with us, but as well to have those use cases for the city, and be it heat maps that you analyze, that you share with others. And that is part of like what the city of Vienna has been doing over the past years, is embracing as well taking care of sensitive data and securing them, but as well those data that they want to share with anybody, be it commercial, be it citizens, to have that open data platform called opendatagovernment.gv.at that provides access to those data that they want to share. And last but not least, it doesn't work without some technology from Red Hat, and that's great. The city of Vienna is using basically for decades already the Red Hat Enterprise Linux basis that has evolved into many other topics, like the container platform that is used for several years now from the city of Vienna, having the management tools from advanced security over advanced cluster management in the container environment, but as well, of course, and the OpenShift AI that is just growing and just started relatively recently. So looking forward to see more usage, and it's great to have you here. So just in case you need to get in touch with the city of Vienna, my name is David Hanacek. I'm the account solution architect for the city of Vienna. Stefan Neubauer is the account manager, and we are more than happy to get a ping on LinkedIn and reach out to us. Thank you very much, Dominic, and congratulations again on what you have achieved. And looking forward to see the prizes in 2026 you are going to win with what you have been doing.
Thank you very much. No, it was a pleasure. Also, thank you for having us here. It was very nice, and hope to hear and see you soon again. Thank you.
Bye.